and welcome back to my channel. So let's jump right in. In this video, I will be looking for my new dream horse. So of course, after my horse Dreamer passed away, I will now be looking for a new athletic horse, and I have a couple requirements and things that I would like them to have. The first step I hear to buying a good horse is set out your requirements and then to ask lots of questions. So that's what I did. Unfortunately, many horses sold before I got to them or weren't in our price range, so I didn't actually get to look at a lot of horses. Most of my looking was online, as most horses that I was interested in lived in other states and I would have to travel to go see them, and by the time that I made those arrangements, those horses either sold or we decided they were out of our price range or we decided that they weren't a good fit. So some horses that might be a good fit, I was thinking I wanted a registered quarter horse. That way I could run at all the AQHA shows and events, and I never had to worry about like not being able to run at a show because they weren't registered. I wanted a mare because then if I eventually wanted to take a break from barrel racing or from whatever sport I was doing, as I am still interested in jumping and other sports, I could have a baby out of them with a nice stallion, and that baby could potentially be my next wedding horse or could be sold for money, as they would still increase in value because they would be registered. So that's why I wanted a registered mare. However, that was not the top of my list. What was most important for me was to have a gentle, sweet horse that I could connect with. Horses can have as much good conformation, good bloodlines as they want, but if you don't connect with the horse and if the horse doesn't fit you, then they're technically worthless to you. So I wanted a horse that I could really connect with. So I was looking for that, of course. I was open to any color. I did want a horse that had good conformation and was able to do athletic things. I already have Chief as my trail horse. I'm not looking for a trail horse. I'm looking for something that has potential to barrel race is top of the list, and then maybe do some poles, some things like that, and then maybe some jumping or Western pleasure or something. They're just an athletic horse that I can all around have fun with. So what we went and looked at, so the first horse we actually got to go and ride is this lovely quarter horse. He was not registered though, and he was a gelding. I can't remember if he's registered actually, but he was a gelding, so that would kind of limit the the ability, he can't have babies, so that kind of decreases his value to me, because if I ever did want to take a break, since I'm buying an expensive horse now, as quarter horses are expensive, I wanted something that I knew would hold value. So this horse I knew wouldn't, which that wasn't top of my list. So this horse did have the sweetness, the personality. I mean, he was just super great. His name was Major. He is an 11-year-old gelding. He's kind of a Palomino Cremello color, and he hadn't been in work for a couple of years. Now, before that, he had just been a trail horse / kid horse, but he was super gentle, and so yeah, I mean, getting on him for the first time in 2 years, and he acted great for the lady. Obviously, he's kind of struggling right now as he's been out in the field and it is cold at this time of year. And then he was great. Like really, the thing that this horse lacked though was I just didn't feel like he had a lot of oomph. Like I feel like he was great, but there wasn't anything particularly that I was just like, I love this horse. But he was super sweet. I could totally connect with that horse. And I really could have taken that horse home with me. the thing was that horse had not been trained as a performance horse. So that horse is not a horse that has been loped a lot, that has been taught lots of seat pressure. He worked off his reins mostly. Now, you can be taught all those things. And he was a super sensitive and well-trained horse. You could tell that he was well-trained. He just had been a kid horse, a trail horse, and he typically did not know how to go, how to, he wasn't made as a barrel horse. He wasn't trained as a barrel horse. So I would have to start from the ground up with him, which would be fine. But the horse had a very high price. He was actually a couple $1,000s out of our price range, which for us right now was super expensive, as we were not planning on having all the vet bills for Dreamer and then having to purchase another horse, and we were looking for something in a low price range, and right now there just really wasn't a lot of that as we were looking. The horse market was very high. This was the last March, and it was just so expensive, so it was very hard to find a horse that I could just love and connect with and take home confidently. But the good thing about this was that I did know the owner, as she was a friend of a very good family friend of ours. So she was super honest. She was willing to work with me. She let me lope around for a while, and she taught me some stuff on her horse and just really let me take my time with him. Major was such a sweetheart. I think I could have totally taken him home with me, as I said, but he just wasn't the one, so we continued the search. However, now that it is March, it has been a couple months. We actually looked at Major in February, but a couple months, and we just haven't found the one. Everything has just fallen through. I found some lovely 4-year-olds, but they just weren't filled out yet, and I didn't think they were ready for that step up yet. And they sold before we could go and see them. So the next horse is actually a horse down in Florida, ironically around where we had, so the lady that gave me Dreamer, I went and visited her in February, and then a couple weeks later, she sent me these pictures of this lovely horse who is a 3-year-old quarter horse gelding. So he is not registered, he is a gelding, and he knows nothing. Like, literally, he knows how to lunge, and that's like it. So he does pick up his feet, grooming, all that kind of stuff, saddling, but he's only been saddled like 2 or 3 times, and he has only been lunged a little bit. So she's went and looked at him for us down in Florida where she lives, and I mean, how could I say no? I mean, he's adorable. Look at him. His name is Joker, and as I mentioned before, he is 3 years old. Joker was rescued from a place. He was starved on his mom until he was 2 years old. So he wasn't weaned until he was a 2-year-old stallion. And if anyone has ever raised baby horses, you know that you wean them around 6 months old. Their mom teaches them all their manners. But when a horse is starving, obviously the mother was not teaching him manners because she barely had enough nutrition to survive, much less raise this baby well. And then he was just left out in a field with her and never weaned from his mom. So then when he was rescued at 2 years old, his mom was taken somewhere and he was taken to somewhere else, and so that they could separate them nicely. And he was fed well and just got all that weight back on and just given a chance that he didn't have before. So I'm still very thankful for that rescue that did that with him. And then he was sold to this lovely man named Frank. Frank is such a sweetheart. He had taken super good care of Joker, but Joker has not learned any manners. He was a bit spoiled on Frank's farm and given lots and lots of treats, and that made him a bit pushy. Yes, very pushy. So Okay, y'all, so that is all for today on the two main horses that we looked at, Major and Joker. In the next vlog, I'll be telling you about Joker and our first impressions of him from the videos and the sell ads and what we were deciding about whether getting him or not. So I'm super excited to show you that vlog, so stay tuned for more and let me know what you think of Joker in the comments of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're trying to make 100 subscribers by January of 2023, January the 23rd of 2023. So we only have like 20 days left, so please do subscribe and hopefully we can make that goal. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye!